First, you're going to write out your word. I am using my shimmer brush for the word mermaid. For the scales, there's a few different ways that you could do this. You could do it with mask or with the eraser, but I'm going to show you the way that I do it so that I can rotate the way the scales go. Get a black color, go into your layers, hit the plus sign. On your word layer, swipe to the left and hit duplicate, and then toggle the bottom one off. I'll show you what we're doing with it later. In your blank layer, go to your mermaid scale brush and go over it. Notice how if I accidentally lift my brush, it makes a overlap. So don't lift your brush. Make sure that it stays on your screen and go anywhere that is upright. Now I'm going to select another contrasting color. I'm going to just do a dark red and just start using my mermaid scales over it, a large enough area so that when I rotate it, it still fits over the whole area. Make it so that it lines up with the direction the rest of your letters are going. So I wanted my scales to really match up the direction of the tail. And then just make sure that you're erasing any excess that's overlapping over top of your words. If it's outside of your words, don't worry about it. Alright, so go down to your black scales, hit select, and then tap your mermaid that is visible and hit clear. Then you can go to your black scales layer, so tap it and hit delete. Now go to your red scales, do the same thing, hit select, go to your visible mermaid layer or whatever your word is, tap it and hit clear. Then you can delete the red scales. This is going to make it so that your scales can become whatever color you want using the bottom layer. And now I'm going to show you how we do that with that bottom layer that we had turned off. Turn the layer on, and then what you're going to do is select that bottom layer by tapping on it. And then go to your magic wand, which is over by the wrench and that S near your gallery. So hit the magic wand and then hit hue, saturation, brightness. And now you'll see these sliding bars come up. And you can just play around with these, sliding them around to create different colors. So keep sliding those around until you find a color that you like. But for now, I'm going to show you how to do the rest. So tap your layers, hit your bottom layer, slide to the left and hit duplicate. Tap the bottom layer and then go to your colors and double tap to get black. Hit the bottom layer again, hit select, hit the bottom layer, hit fill layer, and it will turn it black. Hit N on that bottom layer and it will open up all these options, but we're going to just slide the bar on the opacity down, then take that layer, slide it to the left, hit duplicate. Now tap on the bottom layer. This is going to be our shadow. Hit the arrow, and then you can either pull it or tap it down and out. So I'm tapping the bottom right. To really sell it as a shadow, we're going to hit the magic wand, hit Gaussian blur, which is the second down, and then you're just going to hold your screen and pull it to the right, and this is going to blur out that layer. So this is going to become our shadow. This really helps my shimmer brushes to sparkle even more and to really stand out. So I always add a shadow under my shimmer or glitter or sequins brushes. Tap the bottom layer and hit the N, and I'm going to pull the opacity down a little bit more to about 40%, and that looks good to me. Now on that purple layer, which is the layer just underneath the scales, I'm going to just play around with this a little bit more. And so I'm going to skip past this part, but I just was going in here and darkening it up and really pulling up the saturation on the color so that it was really, really easy to see. I've landed on the color that I like, and you can either leave it like this or you can add in a few more details. So what we're going to do is hit our layers, make sure you're on your top layer, and then hit the plus sign, and this will create a new layer. Then you're going to tap it and hit clipping mask. Now hit the N, hit the color circle. Right now I'm on darken, so hit color, and then in that, hit color. Alright, And then you can grab any color that you want. I'm just going to start with purple. And then go into your brushes and just go to the calligraphy section and hit monoline. This is a free brush that's already in your Procreate. And just start putting it in different spots on your words. And then go grab a different color. Then I'm going to go and grab orange and start putting that into different places. But just make this how you want it to look. This was just something I wanted to do to play around with. Once you have your colors down, hit that little blue pointer brush. This is your blender brush. I have the soft brush in airbrush selected, but you can blend with so many different types of brushes. And so just go over it really gently. If you have the really big airbrush, it's going to really blend it out. And if you have the smaller one, it's just going to do edges. So just kind of play around with how blended you want it to be. I went back over this a few times to really bring up the color and maybe blend it a little bit less. So really just play around with what looks good to you. And even play around with these colors by going to your magic wand and hitting the hue, saturation, brightness, and then just pulling the darkness, saturation, and the color brush around until you land on the colors that you like. Play around with it, add more color, blend it, make it however you like, and just have fun.